Alright, Salve discipuli. My name is Theo Berger, and today I'm going to be breaking down this passage from Virgil's Aeneid, line by line, focusing on how the grammar works and how you actually translate it. So this scene is between Dido and Aeneas after Aeneas decides it's time to leave Carthage. First section is Dido speaking emotionally, and then Aeneas will respond, defending why he has to leave. This is lines 327 to 353 in book number 4. Alright, so let's get into it. First off, we're going to start with this word right here, saltem, at last. And then we also have the word si qua next to it, which means si and qua. It's two words combined into one, probably for meter. This word actually, saltem, means at least. So right away Dido starts off by saying, if only at least. And then we have so si qua means like if some, and then mihi is dative, for me, so dative, de te, from you, and then to skip that fuisat is a pluperfect passive subjunctive. And then we have ante fugam saboles. Saboles is offspring, ante is before, like up the ante, so you play an ante before you bet on something. That's how I remember that word, ante, before. Like for in casinos when you're playing blackjack, you up the ante, you pay your money to, like, before you're betting, basically. It's the fee to get in, but you pay before you play, so before ante. Fugam, your flight. So you're gonna have this contrary to fact condition. So she's talking about something that did not happen. It's important to know. And literally the translation is if at least some offspring had been taken up for me from you before your flight. So if at least some offspring had taken up for me from you before your flight. And now we move into si quis mihi Paulus aula. So we have like si quis, if some, Paulus diminutive, little, like little what, little Aeneas, and then mihi again dative, for me, to me, for me, to me, and so then luderet, that is an imperfect subjunctive, so it's continuing that contrary to fact idea. So if some little Aeneas was playing for me in the palace, outlet in the palace. So you're gonna have like if some little Aeneas were playing for me in the palace, Aeneas name obviously. So and then you have this little clause here. So you're gonna have qui, who, te is you. So and then ore is ablative. Ablative, and it means like by face or in appearance. Referet is would resemble, or literally like would bring back, but would resemble works a little better here. Tamen is at least. So you're gonna have if some a little Aeneas were playing for me in the palace, who at least recalled you in face, or resembled you in face. So she wants like a child of Aeneas to play for her and resemble her in her face, if he's going to leave, right? And then she goes on and saying like non equidem omnino, which is not entirely. So like at not entirely, and then capta is like deceived, and then and ac deserted, viderer, I would seem. That's a subjunctive. So you're gonna have it's all part of this unreal conditional where she says like, I would not seem entirely so I would not seem entirely like like forsaken and deserted. So her whole argument is, if only I had a child with you before you left, I wouldn't feel like super abandoned by you, right? So now that's wrapping up. As you can see, the quotation mark indicates that's the last thing that Dido says, and now it's time to move on to what Aeneas is going to reply. All right, let's go ahead and work into what Aeneas is going to say. So first off, dixerat, just she had said. Important note, pluperfect, right? She had said. That's just saying she said that, right? Now, ille, that refers to Aeneas. So then we have Iois monitis, eyes, the warnings of Jupiter, so that's ablative right there. And then we have emota, mota like motion, and then in like not, so not motion, so unmoved, right? So then we're gonna have tenebat, he was holding lumina, his lights, but it's not his lights, it's actually his eyes. It's a little poetic device there. So putting it all together, it's he was holding his lights, his eyes, emotionless on account of the warnings of Jupiter. So you have that little construction there. Now we're going to move into the next thing he says, which is down here. So and then I'm going to get into like why he's doing this, right? So et obnixus curam sum corde premabat. So first we're going to find our verb. He was suppressing, preme, and then bababs. Bot is imperfect, and then T first person singular third person. So you have he was suppressing. So you're gonna have and he was suppressing his cares, like he was struggling. So that's a little perfect participle, meaning struggling. And then curam, cares, under his heart. So putting it all together, you're going to start with and he was suppressing his cares. He was struggling, suppressing his cares under his heart. And so basically this all ties back to the idea of his pietas, right? Where he's like supposed to be this like perfect Roman, like he's supposed to have so much piety, and so he is not showing any remorse. He's saying, I know that this is my duty to my like future country and to Rome, so I need to suppress these cares so I don't end up staying instead of just going like I have to, right? So basically it's all about pietas here. And so tandem pauca refert. So we're gonna start off by saying finally, tandem, at last, he replies, like, that's not the literal wording of refer, like, he brings back a few things, so pauca, like, a couple things, and then he starts off, so now what is he saying? Ego te quae plure mafando enumerare vales numquam regina negabo permitterum, nec me meminisse pigebit elissae. So there's a very, very long little clause that spans multiple lines. So we're gonna have to really break this one down. So okay, first of all, Regina, O Queen, I, you, accusative, which goes back to this vocative here. So which, so many things which you are able to name by speaking. So enumerare vales is like you are able to recount, and then like plurima like fondo is like a gerund, an ablative, so it's by speaking, right? So and quae is that referring back to things. And then ego te negabo is the main structure of this. So literally it's like the main structure is like I will not like I will not I will never I shall never I will not deny, basically I deny you, but it's not because yeah, negabo. So right, so I will never deny you, so I will never deny bobis bit bimis bimis, that's future. I will never deny you, O queen, these things which you are able to, so these things which you are able to recount by speaking. In nunquam is never, so I will never, deny these things to you, queen, which you're able to recall by speaking. And those many things are like, there was some previous stuff, but in this passage specifically it was the child, right? And then yeah, so promitterum, you have like deserving, like, so that comes in and it's like you are deserving of these many things which I like, you deserve all this stuff, but like I can't give it to you, basically. And then you have a neck, so neither. Alright, so I'm gonna scroll down here. So you're gonna have neck me meminisse pigebit elissae dum memor ipse mei dum spiritus hos regit artus. So this is a separate clause, so we'll leave that for later. And then we're gonna start with neck, so neither, so nor, neither, and then pigebit, will it will it displease me, like, this is an infinitive phrase, for me to remember Alyssa. So Alyssa's like a real name, so this is Dido, right? And you guys translate this per last year. Like, while here, and then I remember myself, right? So he's saying like, it nor will it displease me to remember like Alyssa, who's like you, so you as in Dido. So it's like, nor will it displease me to remember Dido, right? And so then you go dum spiritus hos regit artus. So dum, while, spiritus, breath, rules these limbs. So while breath rules these limbs. So as long as I live, I will remember Dido fondly, and that's basically the idea of what he's saying. He's like, oh, we had all these great memories together. Boom. Right. Okay, let me grab a little water. Okay. Okay, so now he's moving into his defense. As you can see, he says, pro re pauca loquor. That's something that Roman orators, lawyers would say in court. Like, they were like, now let me say a few things in my defense, right? You've gotten your turn to talk about your reasons, now my turn, right? So pro re, about the situation, about the things, pauca, few, and then loquor, I will say. So I will say a few things about my defense. Boom. Nice. Okay. Neque ego, nor did I, like, hanc fugam, so this flight, to abscondere is to hide, infinitive, right? And then furto is ablative, by stealth, and so this nefinge is basically just do not imagine it. So like neither, so we're gonna start off, neither did I hope, speravi, to conceal this flight, hanc fugam, by stealth, furto. Do not imagine that I did. So I wasn't trying to leave secretly, right? And then he goes, so he goes, umquam, in the next line he has umquam, ever, and he has nec conjugus, which is neither, again, so neither, and then conjugus is like of marriage, because it's genitive, right? So it's important to note that down. So of marriage, praetendi, like hold forth, praetendi Titus is like hold forth wedding torches, like, which symbolizes marriage, right? But that don't actually like happen. And hike in Phoedra is like these agreements, and then in right. Weni is I came, so that's I came, and then out is like or. So basically putting it all together, goes nor did I hold forth the marriage torches of a husband, right, with conjugative genitive, or I came into these agreements. So basically saying we never officially got married. You're just like, you're tweaking, like you're imagining that we did, like, because they had the whole cave scene, but that's like not an official marriage. It was like an unofficial one, if you like understand what like is like I'm trying to say, right? So basically like it was not like an official marriage, but Dido's like treating it as one, but Aeneas is saying no, it's not, right? So now we have me si fata meis paterentur ducere vitam auspicis et sponte mea componere curas. So we're just going to start off here because everything is contained, right? So C, that's if, right? And so then we're going to have fata paterentur, if the fates allowed, that's imperfect subjunctive, so those are going to go together. Ducere, infinitive. Vitam, that's life. Me, that's me, right? So meis, meis auspicis, like under my own authority. So putting it all together, if the fates allowed me to lead a life of my own auspices, or by my own authority, and then so that's what we have there, and then so now we're gonna move to to compose my cares of my own accord, of mea sponte, my own accord, and to compose my cares of my own accord. So basically he's saying, like, if the fates let me do what I want in these two lines right here, right? If the fates let me do what I want, then Orbum Troionium, the Trojan city. First of all, primum. So first of all, the Trojan city, then doces reliquias meorum. And let's just break these into two words here. First of all, I would take care of the city of Troy, and then the sweet remains of mine, of my people, right? And then imperfect subjunctive collarum. So I would cherish them, right? So I would take care of. I would cherish. So if first of all, I would cherish the city of Troy and the sweet remains of my people, and then and the high walls of Priam would still remain. So the high walls of Priam would still remain if I could do what I wanted, right? Then the walls of Priam would still be there, and he would run Troy, basically. And then now you're gonna have Recidua Pergama, so reborn Troy, Manu by my own hand, by my own hand, and then Victus is dative for the conquered, and post-wisdom is pluperfect subjunctive, so I would have established a reborn Troy by my own hand for the conquered. So basically saying he would take care of all the losses he suffered during the Battle of Troy, and then he would rebuild Troy for everyone that was still alive, right? If the fates let him do what he wanted. He goes, sed nunc Italia magnum ingranius Apollo. So he goes, sed nunc, but now, Italia magnum, it's like Big Italy, Great Italy, Apollo of Grinium, who's commanding him, right? Usurate orders him. Italiam Lyciae capressere sortes. So, but now, Grinian, Apollo, and the Lycian, like lots, prophecies, have ordered me, like, to pursue Great Italy. So now he's saying that he doesn't have a choice and the gods are ordering him to go to Italy. And then he says, hic amor haec patria est. This is very important. So he says, this is my love, hic amor. This is my homeland, right? So Italy's like his new homeland, right? Even if it wasn't his original, it's his country, like patria, country. So Italy's the homeland, fate is now assigned to him. Right. Cite Carthenigus arches Phoenisum Libiacaque aspectus denitus urbis. So he says, so first of all, Phoenicium, you, a Phoenician woman, aspectus, the site, Libya, here, split this, Libya urbis, of the Libyan city, holds back. So, you, Phoenician woman, Dido, if the citadels of Carthage and the site of genitive, right, of the Libyan city hold you back, Phoenician woman, then then we're gonna have to move down because this is like really long. Quae invidia est. So, like, what objection is there? And then you're gonna have like, in the Ausonian land, so Italy, Ausonia, Toikros, Trojans, Ausonian land at last, tandem, right? So, and then consider to settle. So, what jealousy is there? Like, at last, like, so basically, what jealousy is there for the Toycrians to settle in the Ausonian land? So, like, why won't you let us settle Italy? Basically, like, because you, Phoenician woman, right, are coming to Libya, which is not Phoenician, right? Then and Carthage, which is also not Libya, and Dido's an immigrant herself. Then why is it? And she founded her own kingdom. Why is it not right that Aeneas and his guys can do that, right? So that's the idea. There is like, you did this. You know, what jealousy is it that I can't do it? We're gonna have this little line here. So et nos fas exter acquirere regna. So fas understood est, it is like divinely permitted, right, to seek, so us, and it is divinely permitted for us to seek exterra, foreign, regna, kingdom. So it is divinely permitted for us to seek foreign kingdoms as well, like, because you did it, we can too. The main structure is me admonit. So you're gonna have then you're gonna have patris and kaisai imago, so the image of my father Anchises, and then quotiens, that's just whenever, and then umentibus umbris, so with damp shadows. So basically this just means night. So like, whenever there's night, the image of my father Anchises warns me. And then is the main like little structure that we've uncovered so far. And then we're gonna go nox opere terras quotiens astra igneae surgunt. So nox opere terras, so night covers the lands, so night covers third person singular the lands, terras the lands, right? So and as often as like the fiery stars rise. So every day, every night, right? Remember the image of my father Anchises warns me. And then you're gonna go to in sleep, and then also you need to add in this terret, like and terret, which is like and terrifies. So and that goes with your verb, which is admonate. And then turbida is troubled. So putting this all together, I'm gonna spell it out for you guys. So so imago, the image of my father Anchises warns and terrifies me in sleep, as often as like the damp shadows cover damp shadows, and night covers the lands, as often as the fiery stars rise. So basically every night the image of his dad comes in his dreams and advises him, and it scares him to do certain things, which you will read about like next time. So basically like every night his father visits him in his dreams. Boom. And that's it. That's what he's trying to say. There's a lot of poetic language. All right. That's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. So I'm going to wrap you guys up with a little analysis, I guess. So the passage is built around like this emotional contrast where Dido speaks about what the life that they could have had together if Aeneas didn't have to leave, but Aeneas is very focused on his duty and fate and his love for his country, as we saw with, hic amor, right? This is my love. And so then he's talking about his obligations, and a lot of the grammar supports it. Dido uses her contradifact subjunctives to express impossible wishes that aren't happening. But Aeneas uses formal and legal language about fate and marriage. And the main conflict is personal love versus duty to fate. And that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Walete.